Find N2. You can actually take screen. But this is Oppo's take on the foldable. And Oppo decided lazima wakuwe na a piece of the pie. This pie is the foldables pie. Now, over the past few months, tumeona, the smartphone craze increase, and especially more on, phones that can do much more than your normal phone can do. And while least, all the top hitters and all the big bangers have released their takes on the foldables, we thank Oppo for also deciding to take a jab at it, especially kwa watu wanapenda Oppo. Oppo they have very good devices, by the way, but they have decided to take their jab at the foldable section. And while indeed they do have a fold version of their devices with the Oppo Find N series. The Oppo Find series ni high-end, top-notch ya Oppo. Kwa Oppo Find, then now they have the Find, which is a Find N, which is a fold. Then they have the Find N, which is a flip version. So they launched the Find N series. They had the N1, and then now they have the N2, with which watu wa Oppo Kenya walicheza kama wao, and they brought them and introduced them to the Kenyan market. So if you're looking for a flip phone and you're an Oppo fanatic, and please, not just an Oppo fanatic, because by the end of this day maybe I'll have convinced you or not, or we'll have decided whether we are convinced or not concerning the Oppo Find N2 Flip. Oppo have decided to take a jab at that. And while Oppo makes interesting phones, let me give you my thoughts on the Oppo Find N2 Flip. One, I like the fact that right out the box, even without the plastic case that they give you, with which by the box, kama kawaida, one thing we still appreciate Oppo mpaka wa leo, they give you a plastic TPU case, which helps you protect your phone. Over above that, they give you the 67-watt Super VOOC charger with the brick. Thank you, Oppo. And all the kawaida things that come, the manual and all that come with the box, and the box is very stylish. But other than that, just taking it outside the box in this amazing color, the phone is beautiful. Aesthetics kama kawaida, this phone is beautiful. When from this frosted finish, one of the things I actually thought it was a glass finish, but it's actually a plastic finish. So Apple alitucheza kidogo, but their rendition or their take on the plastic finishing is very nice. Branded the words Oppo and Hasselblad. So tunajua hapo kwa Hasselblad there are good things coming in the camera department. One of the things that I like about the phone is that it is sturdy. It is very sturdy. So it's not something that you'll be afraid to fold and unfold. But since bado tunaongea kuhusu aesthetics, hapa mbele they give you a 3.26-inch screen with which you can do quite a number of things. As I began the video doing, you can take your selfies, you can check the time, you can check the weather. While I wish you would have done more, Oppo, with giving us more options on what to do on the cover screen. We appreciate the fact that we actually do have a cover screen, and it's slightly bigger. You can do quite a number of things on it. You can take your selfies, and the good thing is that when you take selfies on the cover screen, it actually uses the phone's main cameras. And hapo kwa camera, Oppo have never come to play. They have the 50 megapixel wide sensor and the 12 megapixel telephoto. So very good camera combination. When you come over to the selfie, they have their 32 megapixel selfie. Now, unfolded, it's a 6.8 inch. 6.8 inch. Super fast, super amazing phone. It comes with the MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus. So you're talking about snappy, ultra-fast speeds, 8GB, 256GB of RAM, and all these amazing things that the phone actually does give you. One of the things that people actually are afraid of when it comes to foldable phones is the battery, but I like the fact that they have put in a 4300 milliampere battery. So it comes with all these amazing specs. If I go over the specs, it will be too techy for some of you guys. But the real reason as to why we are here is, what's my thought, or are we going to be convinced at the end of this concerning Oppo's take? One, I like the fact that Oppo actually decided to take a jab at this pie, because when you only have one person pale mwenye ana call shots, what they say is what they say. But the fact that Oppo actually did do that, one, it gives open space for competition, and number two, it gives space for innovation. Why? Because with Oppo's take on the cover screen, we are seeing the cover screens increase over time. I like the fact that they still give you the 50 megapixel main sensor. That's a big sensor, but they still fit it on this small form factor. This is a phone that is stylish, and for a very long time kama hizi ma flip ni za madem, but this is actually a phone that I would see a guy using one because it easily fits snug into your pocket like that. So unatembea tao, unapiga shughuli zako, simu iko hapa, hakuna mtu akona worry. And when you need to now to do your amazing stuff, when you want to do the actual phone stuff, you're unfolding it, you can be able to do. It's very easy. And unakumbuka zile feels zilikuwa za kitambo na flip phones. The fact that ukipigiwa, when you fold it flip, the call drops. So Oppo's take on this foldable side is actually one good one. And I'd say since ePhone launchiwe, I remember watching the global launch. I was like, yeah, I would like to really have a hands-on on what Oppo has decided to do. And when we actually got hands on it, thanks to the guys at Oppo Kenya, I was like, yeah, this is a phone I would see myself using. This is a phone that I'd see myself actually using. One, because even when you look at how aesthetically it's designed, there are no gaps. Thank you, Oppo. There are no gaps. So this is one phone that is beautifully crafted. Na juu watu wengi huwa wanaogopea longevity. Also, when you unfold it, the way they have designed it in such a way that it does not allow for dust, which is one of the greatest one of the greatest enemies of folding phones. It's in a way that dust has no way to come in, because that's one of the things that would really damage the screen. And when it's fully unfolded, the crease or the gap between the two phones is almost invisible. So that means that this is quite a strategic way to go about foldables, and especially the Oppo Find N2 Flip. What I really wish about this phone is that they would have given us more things to do on the cover screen, but other than that, this is a phone I'd see myself using. This is a phone, one of the things you can do, you can take your photos, you can see the time, you can do events, you can set a timer, you can play your music, and maybe a few more other things that you can do. But again, it's still limited in some ways. But the phone itself does not trade off at anything. Does not trade at battery life, does not trade off at power, does not trade off in aesthetics. And those are some of the things that, you don't just want to have a phone because it's beautiful. You also want to have a phone that actually does get the job done. So the Oppo Find N2 Flip retails at around 100 to 120 right now. Is it value for money? One, for power, for camera, and for all the amazing things that Oppo does. Yes, it is, because it's arguably one of the cheapest foldable phones out there. And while it still packs the power and the punch. So if you're there and you're shopping out for a foldable phone, why don't you try the Oppo Find N2 Flip? And with that, it's a wrap from us guys at TechEd Africa. Peace out.